Hey guys, Sunstreaker Water here, and today it's not a tactics video, it's nothing like that. It's just about my trip to spaceape, plain and simple. I've got a few prems from VIP crystals that we're going to open, just sort of keep you guys entertained while I sort of waffle on. But I just think it's really important that I just sort of, people watch my video, let them know what I talked about, what I put forward, and I did sign a non-disclosure agreement, which means I can't really say much of what they told me. But to be honest with you, they didn't let much slip, really, to be honest with you. There's no like big exclusives, nothing like that. But I think it's important that I put my point across where I thought the game needed improving, what I thought was balanced, and just had a chat basically. So we're also crystals while we're talking anyway. Um, So first of all, I was down London on business. I was down at head office down there, and I sort of contacted SpaceApe and said, "Listen, I'm in the area for that day. Can I come down and spend a day with you guys?" And they sort of said, a day is a bit long because they've got work to do at the end of the day. But they said you can definitely come down for a couple of hours, do a tour of the studio. We'll have a chat with you, and some little things like that. So I was really interested to go down. Quite pleased. And so, first of all, I met Deb. Deb was really nice. She comes off exactly the same as us in the stream, pretty much. Quite cool. And we sort of had a tour of the studio, met a few people, most of the apes, I think, I met. Some briefly, some I had quite good conversations with. And yeah, the studio was really good and really open. And you can tell that SpaceX really look after their employees and try and give them everything they can to sort of get their imaginations flowing and that sort of environment really. Um, and then um, when I said I was going, I spoke to Chris, who's sort of one of the main guys up in SpaceX, so to speak. And if you're in VIP chat, you know him quite well. And it was quite surprised that he's there. Him and Amy, who's also in the VIP chat. They're not normal at the office, and it was quite a surprise to meet them, and good to meet them as well, and meet them face to face. And then I had a good chat with Amy just about uh, sort of my history and sort of um, the VIP chat in general. And I told Amy that I like the way she does things in the VIP chat, and she tends to calm everyone down, have a different perspective on things. And then, to be honest with you, the main thing then was that we went into the room where they do the streams, and we had a chat, and there was quite a few of the apes there, and we just talked about the game. To be honest with you, and I think that it's very constructive. To be honest with you, and I think that if you're going to have that chat with the apes, the first thing you need to do, you need to understand that they are in this to make money. You've got to understand that, and you've got to realize that if they don't make money, the game will shut down, and the game that we all enjoy will die a death. And I've seen this many a time in other games that I've played. I played Transformers Legends. It happened to that. Transformers Rising. It happened to that. Transformers Battle Tactics. It happened to that. So the last thing we want is this game sort of die a death. You've got to realize that they've got to make money. You've got to understand that. So we did talk about drop rates, and I put forward that I personally think drop rates have improved slightly since when the game come out, and people will always complain about drop rates. They always will, but I think they're not too far away from being balanced. Than the money you invest to the crystal you get, and you got to remember that they're giving more away as in terms of rewards than they ever have right now. They're giving so many 4-star shards away and so many 5-star shards away and doing 4-star and 5-star events and things like that, free 4-stars and guaranteed 4-stars. That when they sort of do these events, I didn't realize this, that I was saying, about the 5-star Shaniks and things like that. I'll talk about that in a minute. And they said, it is possible quite easily to get a 5-star free to play. That's not including from the Shanik store the primal you can get, or the Beast of Megatron. You can get a 5-star free to play, and that's epic. That's big, to be honest with you. I don't think you would ever have seen that maybe a year or two ago. So yeah, hats off to SpaceX for doing that. Then we went off to some bugs in the game. We started talking about the Prime Rush, and as soon as I sort of mentioned Prime Rush, there was sort of like a bit of a. It said you can tell it's a bit of a joke, as in not that they find it funny, but the fact that you can tell that they have literally been banging their head against the wall trying to fix this. Because as soon as I mentioned it, it was like face slap. Don't get me started. We have tried literally everything, and after talking to him, I understand it. I understand the game mechanics because when you do a prime rush, okay, 80% of it is timing. It is, and there's people out there who are like, no, it's nothing to do with timing, and it is. 80% of it is, but there are also some bots that I know are buggy. I know that Cheetor can be buggy. I know Sentius can be buggy. I know Skylinks can sometimes. These sort of bots can be quite difficult. And personally, I take them out of my team because I'm quite privileged that I can do that. And I sub in other bots that more suit that sort of rush. But what they explained is that, not all bots act the same. Not all bots path the same. Not all bots prioritize things the same. So trying to get all bots to do the same thing when all bots are different, it's extremely hard. It's like giving 5 people, 10 different people, say a simple instruction and say, right, go and doing it, and expecting them all to come back with the very same result. There's going to be variations here and there, and I get that. And they have said that they keep working on it and keep trying. It's a constant thing, constant battle. I understand it, I really do. But it is one of the things. It's still a bug that needs addressing, so I can see the player's point of view also. I talked about Computron. I said, all right, we've got defense all out. When we're going to see Computron, and they agreed that Computron will maybe have to come to the game at some point. There's no definite plan, but they said the problem is what Decepticon combiner are they going to use as well as Computron? And I suggested maybe the Seacons, but then the Seacons, how are they going to react on land in Earthworld? So there are stumbling blocks, but I'm sure we'll see Computron at some point. But the question is, what's going to be the Decepticon combiner? So, if you've got any ideas, pop it in the chat, guys, and we'll pass them on to the guys in VIP and the apes and see what they can come up with. I talked about Slash. I said that, I really like Slash, but I understand that they don't like bots targeting the HQ. And I asked them, are we going to see a nerf? And they couldn't guarantee whether Slash going to get nerfed or not. But what they did say is they maybe will have a workaround so the bot doesn't get nerfed. And I mentioned that rather than nerfing bots, maybe it should look at buffing other things, buffing the other cores, making it harder for these bots. So when you have a bot that does something in the game which they're not happy about, look at a different perspective of tackling that rather than just ruining that bot. We've seen it with Skylix. And Skylix is still good, but when Skylix came out, it could target the HQ, and it wasn't ideal, to be fair. And then they nerfed him, which, looking back now, was probably the right thing, but it caused such a stir. Whereas maybe if they stopped the HQ from being targeted by all abilities, it might have solved it. But then I put forward, then that was my idea, to be fair, not theirs. But then I also said that then the problem is that when you are running out of time on a base, you can't prime rush to the headquarters. You can't finish it off with one last ability to get it in a time. So the question is, do you make the headquarters not targetable, but then extend the time so people are not timing out as much? And that's a question I put forward. And it's not to think about it. And, it's one to consider. Like I said, they kept the cards quite close to the chest still. And no, it's one to consider as such. I did mention the China raid base that's come out in China, where all the alliance put into the raid base, and they said that it was interesting. It was difficult for them to do in their current state in the game, but they do like the fact that all the alliance sort of pool in for something. Those that remember the game when it first come out, you all had sort of, well, most of you had sort of like designated roles in the alliance, and you could have a couple people sit out of the wars, and it was good in a way. But they decided, for whatever reason it was, decided to scrap that and go with the sort of current system as it is now. So I don't think we'll see that China raid base maybe, but I think we will maybe see something to do with alliances pooling something together. I mentioned about midweek events. I just said that a lot of people work 9 to 5, and I'm not saying something ridiculously hard, but outside of wars, I think there's not much for people. Not everyone wars. The top alliances they all war constantly, but the mid to low level players they don't, and I don't think raids are there yet. I don't think raids have captured everyone's imagination. And I said, the problem you've got there is that with Titans in the game. Everyone heads to them Titan bases ASAP, smashes them, and then all of a sudden, then all of the bases are sort of left because no one's really that interested. And I think maybe it's looking at the rewards, maybe looking at something else to add into raids, or maybe adding a different game mode to add in again. It's their choice, really. But I just sort of put my view forward. I think they need something else in the game. I'm not sure raids have actually done it yet, such or firing all cylinders. I also mentioned about the Shannick store and said that it's not very good value for money, and I also mentioned that about replacing Optimus Primal, and they said there was no plan to replace that because what they didn't want is they didn't want Optimus Primal to be there, and people are saving up, and then all of a sudden they say, okay, we've got a new bot in now, and people don't like that bot, and then all of a sudden they got complaints because people are saving up for Optimus Primal. And what I said was that, I think the top players in the game would not grumble at having a 5-star legacy in terms of the Shannick store. So once Optimus Primal's there, maybe in a month or two, Optimus Primal becomes a Shannick's legacy crystal as such, and then there's another bot. Now, if they put, say, a 5-star Elita in the Shannick store, then yeah, I think the VIPs, the high level players in the game, would kick up a bit of a stir because they've had to work towards getting their 5-star elites. But if it was a lower level bot, say a 5-star Rust Dust, something like that, a 5-star Huffer, so a bot that's not considered top material, but will still do really well for lower players, especially, then I think that'd be a good idea to put that bot in that Shannick store. And for me, it seemed like they were susceptible. They didn't say again that they would or wouldn't. It was like, they like the idea, but they'd have to see. And I'm not holding my breath as such. But I do think that'd be a really good idea to give back to some of the people who are saving all their Shannicks up. Personally, I use mine on all XP cores, but I think it'd be really good for the Shannick store. I did mention all 13 amounts for top players is a bit scarce, and they should up it a bit maybe, or at least up the amount you can store. And they said they'd monitor it. They think it was right at the time. I personally disagree. We didn't really agree on that, to be honest with you. But they said they'd look at it, and that's only fair enough. And I agree with setting the bar low and then bringing it up rather than the other way around. If they set the bar high and then they're rolling things back, it can be quite frustrating as a player. So I do agree. I do believe it needs improving, but I do agree with the way they've done it at the current state, where they set the bar low and they move it upwards. Then we talked about bots I'd like to see. I did mention for Engineer Hoist that we do need Hoist coming to the game, and they did sort of laugh and they said, "Yeah, well, we can't deny it or confirm it." But Engineer Hoist has battled for this for a long time. And even he said, I've got my bot, I've got Sunstrix since the game first came out. And Hoist was a original G1 bot. So I don't see why they can't bring him to the game. And I think they'd be a good addition. And personally, I do think we will see him at some point. But the question is when. Will it be next month? Will it be 6 months down the line? So I do think we will see him. But like I said, they didn't give much away. And I think it's just a matter of time now, really. I did mention about Prime League. And I mentioned that I like the current state where what they do is they make something harder about Prime League, or maybe two things harder, but then make something a bit easier. So they might say, okay, in the next Prime League, beam lasers and mortars do more damage, but cannons do less. And it sort of makes you maybe prioritize different. I mean, with the current state where, the walls are weaker, it means you can use sludge more. You're more inclined to use that certain bot. If they make it so that cannons do more damage, then people might use flat jackets more and use them cores more. And I just think things like that make it that vary the game and make it a bit different and make you use bots that you wouldn't normally use it can only be good for the game. At the end of the day, the more bots that people level, the more wider range of attacks they can do, and then the more money that spaceape make also, which keeps the game going. I think what they're trying to do is at times of people just leveling 8 bots solid, and that is the only 8 bots they attack any base with. I think they're trying to get away from that to make people level 10, 12, 14, maybe more bots, so that those people that have all these different bots and are leveling all these bots and working them up, they have more attack strategies. So that if you only do walks, you will struggle in Prime League constantly. Not constantly, but every effect will change. So if you always do walks, your walk may struggle. If you only do rushes, at some point you may struggle for whatever reason. And I think when they look at that and they keep looking at that and thinking, how can we make this attack method harder, but this attack method easier, then you'll find different players do better in different Prime League effects. And I like that. It varies it. You don't got the same players doing really good, and you have players putting their input in. Because you're really good at rushes, but the other person's good at walks. Then that walk person will be like, okay, I'm not really good at rushes. Can you help me and show me how to do this rush? And then vice versa. That person's good at walks, and this person's good at rushes. And the Prime League effects are sort of going towards walks being, OP, then rush players be like, right, teach me how to walk, show me this. And I think that could be really good for the game and just generally, improving everything about the game, in like the money they earn, the variety, and just keep people interested. And then lastly, I did mention achievements in the game. It's quite amusing, but they sort of said that achievements and in terms of rewards, in terms of crystals and things like that. And what they said was that the problem with there is that people in the past that have played the game for a long time, they won't got the same rewards that these newbies get. But personally, from my point of view, I don't mind the newbies getting a bit more than me because I'm already established and I don't need much more. I need a bit more. I need more resources to upgrade what I've got. But in terms of what I've got, I don't need that much more right now. There'll be some more 5 stars and some more bots down the line. But I'm at a point now where, I've got everything I need. And there's a lot of newer players that need a lot more to catch up. And I think that more competition will just improve, again, variety in the game. So personally, I would improve results, improve achievements, and I would also improve dupe rewards slightly in terms of maybe shards so people get more bots. And that was it at the end of the meeting. We sort of, I thanked them for the time, and I got a goodie bag which had a few like a t-shirt in it. And if you've seen the stream the other week, I also sent them some t-shirts. They arrived late, which I was a bit disappointed at, but they got them at the end of the day. We sort of exchanged gifts, so to speak. And it was a really good experience, and I'm looking to go down there another time and appear on the stream. And that's the sort of plan. But if you've got anything you think I should talk to the apes about, then let me know. I'm not planning to go down this year again. I hope to go down next year, like I said, and appear on a stream and maybe have another chat about the game. And I'm sure it'll change a lot in the next 6 to 9 months. But that's sort of where I'm at right now. But yeah, it was a really good visit. It was really good to meet them all, especially Chris and Amy, who I didn't really expect to meet, who I'll probably never meet again because they're going down to the office once every, say, 6 months, they explained. So it was real by chance that I was there at the same time. But yeah, a really good experience. So thanks for listening to me waffle on. I hope that I've sort of maybe give you guys some insight into the game, what is going forwards, and maybe what they may be doing with the game. Like I said, they didn't say too much. They kept the lips quite tight, to be fair. But yeah, if you like my channel, guys, please subscribe. Please like this video. And thanks for watching, and peace out.